What's going on, Junkies? It's your boy Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. We got a really hyped show because it's all about San Diego Comic-Con. We had a lot of announcements come out. We had a lot of trailers come out. We had some surprise announcements come out. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get right to it because we got a lot to cover and we don't want to hold anybody up. Joining me on the show today is the great Dadakuji. What's up, bro?
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here again with all you guys. Share our nerdy.
Indeed. And speaking of nerdy, you got Super Nerd Plus. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Super Nerd Plus is here.
In the building. Welcome to the show. Got Mr. Fallen Marvel joining in the house. What's up, bro?
Hello, everybody. I am back. I survived the snap. I'm good.
Ha! Right. And last but not least, Mr. GQ. How you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing well.
Not bad. I want to say what's up to Tony Young. Got our boy Prodigy going to be joining us on the show in a few minutes. He's in the chat over there on Facebook. Anthony Minner, what's up to you as well? And yes, Tony, that is some Sonic music that you hear in the background. It's a little bit of a remix that I found on the internet. But how was everybody's weekend? Obviously, we had a lot of news come out on the stage. How do we think this San Diego Comic-Con was in comparison to some other ones?
It was cool seeing the panel, but I wanted to see more on the floor. So I was like searching to see somebody was doing like a live feed on the floor, and I just found like maybe 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that, man. Honestly.
I mean, you got certain people that's there that got the YouTube channels and they were doing live feeds. So I kind of like I had my tablet playing them showing the floor, and I had like my TV showing like basically all the panelists on IGN and whatnot. So it was decent.
I thought as a show altogether, I thought it was just really well done. In as far as DC had a lot to prove, a lot to show, and I think for the most part they kind of hit it out of the park. I thought they did an absolutely fantastic job. But before we get too deep, I want to get you guys the fix because we had a couple of news items that dropped, and we kind of need to talk about them. So let's go ahead and get you the fix for this week post San Diego Comic-Con. So this week, everybody, if you haven't heard before, Chris Hardwick was accused of sexual assault, and as a result of that, he was it kind of put the brakes on his career. Well, after an investigation into things, AMC has cleared Hardwick to return as the host of their popular talk show, The Talking Dead. Hardwick was vaguely accused by his ex-girlfriend Chloe Dykstra of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse while in their relationship, but she never actually mentioned Hardwick by name, and up to now there's been no real concrete details on his alleged involvement. However, the court of public opinion has already convicted Hardwick, leading many to criticize this move by AMC. Nerdist themselves, the company that he actually helped found, has yet to restore Hardwick's presence on the site. The only time will tell what more may shake out from this. We'll update you as we hear a little bit more. Speaking of controversial firings, James Gunn was surprisingly fired this past weekend after tweets from his distant past as a very edgy provocateur came to light. After reading the tweets myself, they were pretty outrageous, man, and they were kind of inexcusable, even if they were said in jest. The context is everything. Gunn admitted publicly that he has grown as a person since the times he made the tweets, and has had many celebrities and fans step up to his defense. But once the mouse strikes you down, there's kind of no coming back from that. Looks like Amazon has also cut ties, as the proposed Starsky and Hutch reboot Gunn was doing for them has now been canceled. I'm sure Gunn will bounce back at some point, but for now it looks like he's quite untouchable. As for Guardians 3, which he's already written, rumor has it that Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok, may be tapped to direct. More details when we get them. Alright, on to what's coming out this week. Superman for All Seasons, which is our friend Josh L's favorite Superman graphic novel, has got a new edition coming out this week. Infinity Wars Prime #1, which released today, saw the death of a very major Marvel villain, and I mean major Marvel villain. And Mr. and Mrs. X, Gambit and Rogue's honeymoon has begun after their marriage in X-Men Gold 30. Games out this week: Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and No Man's Sky, which is finally coming out on Xbox One. Movies this week, I made a snafu. Last week I said Mission Impossible Fallout was coming out last week. It's actually coming out this week. So you can go and see it in theaters this week, along with Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And that's the fix for the week. Hope everybody had enjoyed that. What do you guys think about the whole James Gunn thing?
I don't think he should got fired for it.
Really?
I mean, I don't think she got fired. It was years ago. Shit, Disney got skeletons in their closet too, but
I mean, sure. I mean, they got the Song of the South, and I get that everybody's got shit in their past that look out for. But dude, if Roseanne's going to get fired for being kind of an edgy, racist kind of asshole, even if it did happen prior in the past and he kind of didn't acknowledge it, it's Disney, man. Anything looking kind of not family friendly to them, you tarnish their image, they're done with you.
I totally get that, but at the same time, I mean, the dude who did it was pissed off at him for saying whatever political stuff he said, and literally unearthed those just to, that's some whole shit to me,
Right.
That dude was that did it, that's some whole shit. But at the same time, what? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, come on, it was years ago. Everybody grows as a person, and they change, and sometimes people don't even think about those old tweets they even said because they realize that that's not them anymore.
I completely understand that, but at the same time, and we covered this 2 weeks ago, Disney's contract looks into your past. Mm-hmm. And that's just something that came up out of his past. Now, granted, like you said, people change. He said, said his piece or whatever, but that's still something that's there. It's also like, if you look, for example, if you look at WWE example, China probably will never get into the Hall of Fame because of the fact that she did porn. Mm-hmm. A great wrestler did, groundbreaking, for women's wrestling, but she still did porn, and that's something that might hold her back forever, no matter how you slice it. And with regards to Disney having a double standard, you can have any standard you want when you're the boss. So I mean, it's not fair, but neither is life. So. Again, James Gunn did an outstanding job with Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. The second one, not as much. It's again, he's a cog in a wheel. They take one out, they put another one in place, and they keep on moving because it's a machine.
Right. I mean, can't get mad at that. So, they got to do what they had to do and, move on to the next person. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I was any one of these directors or actors, I just wouldn't say much of anything on social media. Hey, how you doing?
Absolutely.
I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. Like, I'll do it like The Rock does. The Rock sends out some motivational something and then goes about his day.
Right. But then you got people that want to get too political about something.
But if you're at that level and you're making that much money, you can't take those chances.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't take those chances because as soon as you say something political and then somebody take it out of context and then you're like, oh shit, you got the whole world against you now for saying one little thing that you're trying to stand up for. And it's like you can't stand up for yourself or even make a statement, even though you are a celebrity. What money has to do with anything with you. I mean, it does have something to do with it, but at the same time, you can't speak your piece. What's wrong with that?
Well, you can, but you can say whatever you want.
Right. But the backlash is coming.
You have the absolute right to that, but you don't have the right to be immune from consequences.
Absolutely. That's the thing that sucks about it. So it's like, you got to shut up and move on or,
See, but the rough thing about that is that, like, I wouldn't be inclined to agree except for the fact that it's not just politics. I mean, he was joking about rape and pedophilia. Like,
yeah, that's some stuff you just don't joke about, man.
It's really. Whether he did it in jest or not, it's like, look, okay, that was what you was on back then. You grown as a person, yeah, but the moment you signed that contract with Disney, you should have purged that Twitter account, like for real.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the
absolutely.
thing.
Because you can't like joke and stuff like that, especially when that's like Disney's core fan base.
Like, I mean, again, it goes back to the day you sit down and that contract, they sit that contract in front of you, you read all that fine print, and be like, before you even let that ink dry, you go back and just destroy your Twitter account if you said anything off, off kilter, or your Facebook or whatever. I guarantee you, if like some ridiculous huge contract comes my way, I'm bleaching my internet history. some of the crazy stuff I know I've said, shoot. Act like as if I don't even exist.
Mm-hmm. Burn it all down, start anew.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So so dudes, let's start talking about the absolutely fantastic San Diego Comic-Con that we had this weekend. Like I said, DC has done a ton, and they had a lot to show. And I think they really came through when it mattered. So let's talk about that Aquaman trailer leading off. The before you saw the Aquaman trailer, what did you think? And give me your before and after opinion. Your before opinion and your after opinion. What did you guys think of it?
I'll
start with you, Fallen Mark. Go ahead.
Honestly, the thing is, obviously, with anything concerning their movies, like especially during that time, I was cautiously optimistic, or at the very least, just on the fence in general. But seeing as like Aqua Bro was like one of the highlights of Justice League, it kind of had me looking forward to the movie, even though I kind of had a certain way of feeling about Warner Brothers in general. So after seeing the trailer, it has me. I'm optimistic. Like, I'm not cautiously optimistic too much about it, because I like the feel that it has. I mean, Jason Momoa as the character has done really good, and I like him in the role. So if they're kind of following the lead and kind of like basing the movie around that, then I'm all for it. Like, I mean, aside, like, the only gripe I have about the movie so far is that when they kind of like showed some parts of Atlantis and some of the other like mer people or whatever, it was kind of reminiscent of like the atmosphere in Green Lantern to me a little bit. But other than that, I have a good vibe from it.
Okay. Does it make you want to go see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
GQ, you're very discerning, so let's get your opinion.
Well, again, Aquaman, thanks to Adult Swim, has always been
right,
the butt of 1,000,001 jokes. In all honesty, like, I like what Momoa has done with it. I don't like the whole surfer boy mentality that Snyder tried to seem to, stick him with in Justice League. But at the same time, Momoa is a good actor anyway. I mean, he can work through, some garbage stuff that they might throw his way. But looking at the trailer, it looks solid. As you can see, I got the University of Wakanda shirt on, so it has a slight resemblance to another trailer that came out last year. But
yeah,
beyond that, I mean, but again, that because trailers honestly are formulaic. I mean, there's trailer formulas that a lot of movies follow if you really sit down and look at it. And this one again is it's almost like a prodigal son, prodigal prince storyline, which isn't necessarily what T'Challa was doing, but at the same time, it's the same thing. It's a prince coming to claim his rightful throne. But it looks solid. Black Manta looks really good, to be honest. I mean, again, that's always been a character that could look really good in the books, but how is that going to look, in live action? And so far, even with going back to even all the way back to Smallville, they've done a good job with how Black Manta has looked in live action. So I will definitely give them all the props on that. As long as he's not super surfer boy in this one, I'll be fine with it. Let Momoa be Momoa, man. The dude is a badass in real life. So, let some of that come through. And I think they'll do good.
But could you said let him not be surfer boy. And I'll admit that was one of the things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way with Justice League. You say let Momoa be Momoa, but what if that is Momoa, the whole surfer boy type personality type thing. You know?
See, I don't know, man, because the first time I ever saw Momoa was in a Sylvester Stallone movie called Bullet to the Head, and he was playing the villain in that movie. And dude is he's essentially what Roman Reigns needs to be in WWE. That's the easiest way to say it. Like the dude is a charismatic badass. Like that's what he is. So it's like you look at that, and it's like you throw this little my man and all this other stuff every 2 seconds on him. It just looks like it doesn't like look natural. The only real way I can say it. It's just like you're looking at, because you look at like the way he was interacting with Bruce in the very beginning of Justice League, pissed off, threw him up against the wall, mad.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and then 2 seconds later, all of a sudden he's joking, and I don't mind the jokes. I mean, that's fine. It's like, it's like I didn't think you were real, blah blah blah. But then he goes right into the my man as soon as he like puts the suit on. I'm like, where did that come from? A second ago, you were like a badass. Now all of a sudden, you super jokey and happy, and it's like.
To be fair, that might have been Whedon. That's all I can say.
And I think that's the problem. That's what it's like. He's been directed by 2 different directors in the same movie. So maybe what James Wan does is going to be, slightly a different way. Go a different route with it. So who knows?
Okay. Daidokuji, what was your thought?
Well, I was gonna go see the movie regardless because I enjoy comic book movies, even though DC has not really. I like Justice League, like the rest of the nerds. I personally didn't have any thoughts going into it that it was gonna be else. I looked at the trailer and kind of thinking like maybe DC is gonna try to make a comic book movie, because in my honest opinion, why they're not been doing so high, because they're not making comic book movies, trying to put superheroes in real life situations because of Christopher Nolan, Batman, and it just doesn't work. And then Justice League came along, and I looked at it, and it looked like a comic book movie. This movie also looks like a comic book. It's going to be exciting. Aquaman is, I don't know how he is in the comics. I mean, besides Adult Swim,
he's not like that. He's not like that. I'll tell you that.
And I don't know anything about Aquaman at all. So, however his attitude is, it seems. From my understanding, GQ, that one of Jason Momoa's first gigs was on Baywatch, though, like surfer type shit. So maybe that is his personality. I don't know, can't say, but I look forward to the movie. I will be there on day one to sit there and watch it, and I hope they do well. I hope that DC comes out with some good stuff, because like it's more the merrier for me. I don't want one to fail, the other one to succeed, because that means I lose half of the time. I want them both to be good, so I feel good watching these movies and giving them my money. So kind of how I look at it.
Okay, last but not least, Mr. I don't like Aquaman himself. Super Nerd Plus, what'd you think of this movie, man?
First glance, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be like every other DC movie. It's gonna fail. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh shit, okay, they're really showing the whole atmosphere and the world of Atlantis. So it's like I see where they're going with it. I just hope they can pull it through, because I'm kind of excited. I want to see this. I want to see what Moa can do. I want to see how James Wan, makes this character flourish. I have to say, and I'm a hardcore Marvel fan, and this is probably to be the first DC movie that I actually be like, okay, I want to check this out.
Hey, don't you love how everyone got to stipulate? I'm a hardcore Marvel fan. Before they give praise to anything DC, they say I'm a hardcore Marvel fan. Like, come on, man! Can't you just say it looked good?
You can't praise nothing right now. You can't praise nothing on that side right now.
Can't you just say something looks good without putting these qualifiers? I'm a hardcore DC fan before I give it props. Come on, man.
Actually, here's the thing. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. Say
I know a lot of people do that. I'm just saying, can't we just get past that? Just if it looks good, it looks good.
We ain't Rodney King right now. We ain't about to get.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a bridge that's not going to get burned down anytime soon. Because I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I mean, like according to someone, apparently that like the reason why I didn't like Batman, because I didn't read enough of his story. So
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, okay. So like I have to read like 30 years worth of stories for me to know whether or not I like a character or not. Okay.
Yeah, fuck out of here with all that noise. I don't want to hear that.
Black Manta too. You know, Black
Manta was dope, man. Black Manta looked dope.
Anthony Mentor in the chat is saying that everybody, should be honest and everybody's waiting to see Black Manta, that's fair.
You know.
I mean, come on, man. Don't be like that. Look, man. Don't be like that. Look, I was one of the few. Go ahead. What?
I love the fact that in the trailer though they took him to the one place where he is absolutely worthless. They had the
desert. I know, right?
Desert.
Yeah.
Y'all are really going to do that? Okay.
So they do what now?
They took him to a scene. There's a scene in the movie or in the trailer where him and Mira are like about to jump out over a desert. I'm like
no hesitation. Like there ain't no water anywhere.
Right. I'm like
no parachute.
Yeah.
Just out the door.
But doesn't he still have super strength?
No, he does.
He does, but dude.
Yeah, but water is like. Water helps him immensely. Like that is one of his.
That's not water. That's alcohol.
I mean, at the same time, who knows where they're going with it? But it's one of those. It's funny that they threw that in there because it's like, dude, out of all the places you go have him have a scene, this fool is in the middle of the desert. Like, okay, I don't know where you're going with it, but let's see what happens.
Right.
Because even in the Justice League cartoon, man. Aquaman only showed up if the ocean was involved.
Yep.
Like that was
his whole thing. It was like it's kind of like, I mean, it's like with him, like it's kind of like the same thing with either Namor or Panther. If like Atlantis or Wakanda ain't in trouble, they don't care.
Or, I mean, it's like you
get out of my water.
Yeah, it's like you put Swamp Thing in the desert. It's like good luck. Hope you can find a cactus or something.
He's like, I'm only protecting the green. That ain't my problem.
Right. I have no F's given.
Right.
I get that.
Apparently, there's a method to the madness. I don't know.
I'm sure they'll do something with it. I mean, I just thought, to me, that was one thing that stuck out in the trailer. I was like, wow. Either they throw in a serious inside joke at everybody, or this is going to be some weird scene in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, James Wan has been proven capable before, so it might be.
A lot of people were worried, rightfully so, about this film. I think I was probably one of the only people that has been supporting it from Jump Street because I needed to see DC get a win, and I kind of feel like after Wonder Woman, this is going to be their first solid win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just think this is. I mean, everything about it looks solid from jump to finish. Oh, there's my boy Prodigy, man. Prodigy from Black and Black Times Xfinity. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Real good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, dude.
Welcome. Loud and clear, sir.
Welcome back to the Junkie Nation, man. It's been a minute.
No. What's up?
So all of you out there, Prodigy actually was at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend.
Nice.
I don't know if he was at the DC Hall H presentation or not, but what was your thoughts of the whole Aquaman trailer? What did you think of it before you went in, and what do you think after you saw it?
Yeah, here's my deal. I actually didn't see it in Hall H, but I will tell you, the Aquaman trailer, I saw it like in line for another panel. It looked really good. I was impressed. Yes, it has a feel of Black Panther on it, but James Wan, I think, is going to bring it, and I'm looking forward to Jason Momoa a lot. Most people I saw buzzing around Comic-Con were super excited about this one and the Shazam trailer.
Good. I'm actually glad he said it's a Shazam trailer because that's the next topic. What do we think of Shazam? Do you think this could possibly be DC's sleeper hit movie? Like, cause it could hit all the right notes. Go ahead, Super Nerd.
I'm not here to go again. I like the trailer. It looks cool. I mean, if you know Billy Batson and if you see him, he's a kid, so it's gonna be that kid friendly to it, and it's gonna be lighthearted. What they need a lighthearted movie like this. So I think this one's gonna be a hit. gonna be a sleeper. It's gonna be even if it don't hit like it's supposed to money wise, I think people will still dig it for what it is.
Now, my boy Prodigy can actually speak to this because he and I are in the same in a mutual Facebook group, and there's one dude I got a bet with right now. Cause this fucker, man, I swear to God, my arch nemesis, yes, dog. Let me tell you, I got a bet going on with this cat right now. I said, look, man, I mean, he's been dogging the hell out of Aquaman and the Shazam movie for months, and I said, look, man, I said he's been hyping up the Venom movie, he ride or die with that thing. So I told him, look, man, I said if Aquaman and Shazam both get better critical, fan, and more money than Venom, you gotta come in this forum right now and just say publicly, I don't know shit about any of these movies, and I'm gonna shut up now. So I got a lot riding on this. I got a lot riding on this.
You lost me talking about hyping up Venom, bro. Like, I'm
sorry. I can't make this stuff up.
Me with that.
I cannot make this stuff up. I swear to God, this dude is so hyped for Venom, I can't get it. But anyway, bring it back to Shazam. Prodigy, what did you think of Shazam when you saw it?
Shazam seemed real fun. It seemed like it has he's doing the floss dance from Fortnite in it. You know, it explained the story because I was watching it with my family. Nobody knew who Shazam was, and they had already been convinced that this was going to be whack. By the end of those 2 minutes, everybody was excited about seeing it. My whole family, little kids and my girl. So,
yo, how about that? You see? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
I'll be right back. All right. Hope.
So, okay, so take it, Fallen Marvel. What'd you think?
Man, I will say that has probably been a while I've had the most fun with the trailer. Seeing that, because I just saw it today. Like, I've been slacking on the trailers like over the weekend. I finally saw it today, and I have to say that like I had a lot of fun watching that trailer. And it you know, if that trailer doesn't put you in a good mood after seeing it, it's like I don't know what's wrong with you, honestly. Like it really feels fun. It feels true to the recent incarnation of the character. Mm-hmm. And it just looks funny. It looks funny and it looks great. You know, it looks really good right now. It looks very promising. So I can't wait to see it. That's exactly. I agree with you. That's exactly what they needed.
I wish people start saying it has to be dark. And no,
I mean, well, we still have something else to talk about. But either way, the thing is, again, this is definitely what Warner Brothers / DC needed for their live action properties. They need something like this. They need something like Aquaman. They needed Wonder Woman even as good as they, as good as it was or whatever, as far as like general perception. But it's like overall, it's like they weren't getting that. And it's like somewhere, it's like, come on, like guys, like, are you not getting it? And it's like, okay, somebody in Warner Brothers is getting it. Somebody up there. Now, It still needs to filter down in some other departments, but other than that, somebody over there is getting it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Let's go with the Dark Lord of the Sith there, Mr. GQ. What did you think of Shazam? I really want to hear this.
It like Super Nerd said, it fits the character. For me, I mean, I'll see it obviously because again, like Dido said, it's a comic book film, and I see all of them regardless of whether I'm super interested in the characters or not, because I'm a fan of movies first and foremost. My only issue with it, and again, this could just be because this is just the first trailer, which they accidentally called it a teaser, even though it's like 2 minutes long. Like most teasers aren't long like that, so we're not getting any antagonists or any of that. So again, the teaser is always again introduce the character, what their their little basic struggle is, and kind of go from there. Kind of give people a little miniature introduction. So I don't know if The Rock as Black Adam is going to be in this movie or not. If it's going to be an entire 2-hour romp of him being a kid with discovering his powers, that's not enough for me. I actually have to have some type of conflict, because otherwise You know, it's like, dude, this could have been an episode of the animated show for all I care. You know, you have to give me something. You know, give me something for him to, you know, basically somebody to get in there and kick his ass, really. You know, and show him that, hey, you got all these powers, but there's going to be people that are trying to kill you because of the fact that you do have them. Right. And you know, bring that storyline home. Because otherwise, if I'm just watching a kid that, you know, suddenly is grown up, you know, and has superpowers, I've seen that before. Well, you know, we've seen this before. So
it's called Tom Hanks and Big.
Right.
I hear you, but not with the superpowers. It doesn't have the superpowers. I get you. And Mark Strong is playing Dr. Savannah, who's his arch nemesis, and we don't really see him, but except for in like one shot. So they didn't really spoil too much of who he is and how he factors into the movie. So they probably are holding that back. And like you said, hopefully they do give you something where it's
out of the comics. What is Dr. Savannah's power set? Like, what is his
his power set used to be that he didn't really have any powers. He used to just be like a mad scientist that would always kind of come up and cause trouble. Where
so in the new Lex Luthor.
Well, they've changed that. In the new 52,
don't do that.
In the new 52, he actually was seeking out the power and magical enhancements, and he actually does have some now. Like he's been seeking those powers from the wizard. I mean, I guess if you want to, I guess if you want to put it like that, sure.
See, again, and then let me cut you off real quick. This goes back to the same problem that Arrow has. When your rogues gallery is shallow as a puddle, you are stuck in your films.
And
Black Adam, honestly, is the only person that most people even think about if they talk about Shazam.
That's true.
They're on equal ground. Now, granted, this is a good starter movie because again, he's just getting his powers, just learning. He ain't going to go up against his arch nemesis in the first film. I get that. However, now just because you said somebody that's very similar to Lex Luthor is like, dude, you got the Superman light right now. That's exactly what we're getting.
But let me say something real quick. I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, if you really think about the Captain America trilogy, the only real supervillain he went up against was Red Skull, you know, for honest. And so you could still work with this. If it's a good movie, you could build upon it, you know, build upon this character and do a lot of fun things. But I hear you, he doesn't have a great rogues gallery outside of Black Adam. All I'm trying to remind y'all is Cap. The only real one we've seen with Cap is Red Skull, and he half-ass fought Bucky for a movie.
But see, Cap, they cheated. They used Cap. They used every single Cap movie as an Avengers pull-in type of setup. And again, that's because they had a connected universe that they were working on. DC, thus far, has not shown any long-range plan or planning like that. So until they get on that level, because again, Cap going against Red Skull, that's a classic fight. That was probably the only story you could tell in the first Cap movie, because again, you have to bring him from the 40s to now, and, you know, and freeze him, do the whole whatever. But in Cap 2, when they brought back somebody from his past, again, reaching back into his past and not really giving him a forward enemy outside of, because even Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. is still reaching back to his past, like you said, Red Skull connection. But once Cap 3, all bets were off because they were like, look, this is Avengers 2.5.
Yep.
And let's just go. So Cap, I completely understand what you're saying about it being mainly Red Skull focused, but they always had that little back door of like, oh, we can bring in more characters though, or we can introduce this person or whatever, because again, we're working on this whole universe building. That's the one thing DC has been lacking that would definitely help some of their films.
That's true. And the thing is, even now, I mean, based on their announcement, I don't think they're going to be too focused on universe building right now, since their official name is now the Worlds of DC.
Well, again, it goes because they won't let the main guy that could do it be in the driver's seat.
You know what that means? The Worlds of DC. You know what it sounds like? That means no crossover ever.
No.
I hope that's not the case, though, man.
I don't think that's gonna be the case.
Justice League was a good start, and it's like, dude, it's like that's what people are waiting for now. Granted, you had some misfires on that film. It should have made $1 billion.
Misfires.
Okay, there was a lot, but I mean, I'm trying to trying to be somewhat fair. But
I was friendly fire.
You fair? They missed their shot completely.
I agree, but at the same time, but at least it was giving us a glimpse of, okay, Superman can finally be a little bit more Superman than like Batman, you know, with powers. We can finally, you know, have a potential Legion of Doom set up. It was a lot of things that were like, oh, this will be good, this will be good, and if they literally are going to say, nope. Then it's just like, dude, what are you guys doing? Why are you even doing this anymore then?
Yeah. And that's the rough thing about it too, because it's like, again, they did all that setup, you know, leading up to Justice League, and it's like up to this point, like we don't know what the hell they're gonna do with it going forward, because pretty much every movie that, well, whichever ones that are not necessarily Batman related, but even those still count, like each one of these are gonna be essentially standalones. Like they're not even really going to focus so much like on crossing over or, you know, making mentioning of this thing or that thing or whatever going forward. Like we don't even know what they're going to do. And plus, you know, we still got Flashpoint coming in probably another 2 years. And it's just like, we don't know. And they got like 2 Joker movies coming out, like like 2 more Batman related films, I think. Yeah, and it's like, we don't know what they're doing right now.
I feel that. Can I just say this too, though? Not to switch up on you, but you know, I'm definitely a fan of Marvel films. I'm a fan of some of the DC films. I find it kind of funny though. Nobody's talking about the fact that Ant-Man 2 has, for all intents and purposes, bombed at the box office. It is the 19th ranked MCU film in terms of box office performance, and nobody wants to ever admit that. I've gotten into nothing but internet fights with people. I mean, we can't like just pretend that everything that Marvel does comes out is $1 billion. It's just not true.
That's not true. Absolutely, no. That's correct.
Again, I've never said that Ant-Man was a $1 billion franchise, but the fact that what was it?
I mean, the first one was pretty much a runaway hit. So
yeah, but the fact that Black Panther destroyed Justice League isn't showing that the times have changed, because Justice League should have been on Avengers level, and it wasn't even close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that it shows that they never actually had a plan. They were playing catch up, and Kenshiro's been saying that for years. We've all been saying that for years.
Man, have I been saying it for years.
It's
my
a situation where it's like, if you had all of those characters for all of that time and you sat on it and didn't do anything with it, and then here comes this upstart fledgling, first time in the business, basically in the movie making business company, comes in and wrecks shop with a over $15 billion series of films. That means that like either you had the wrong people in charge, or you just didn't have the vision to do with all these characters that you've had sitting on for all these years. So to me, that's why I think Marvel always gets such a high praise, because it's like you guys started off with lemons, literally, because you didn't have most of your major characters, and they still killed it.
Totally agree. I'm just saying we all need to admit that Ant-Man is an underperforming franchise. As part of the MCU, we can't like.
I don't know. I admit it wholeheartedly. I admit that wholeheartedly. But the fact that their Ant-Man movie even exists is a blemish on DC's whole setup, because it's like, dude, if Marvel is sitting here throwing like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and various characters that most people never even really pay much attention to, Ant-Man different because again the Hank Pym thing, I get that that's a whole different thing out of the comics. But the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy crushed at the box office just shows that it's like, dude, they're willing to take chances, and they got people that can make these things successful. And you guys have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, the holy trinity of comic books, and you're still struggling. So I think that's why Marvel gets a pass in a lot of cases, because it's like, dude, who expected an Ant-Man movie to even be made anyway?
Not in the slightest.
Very true.
And not in the slightest. And I mean, the sequel, I mean, it's like I said, it's true. Like it is like the movie has been underperforming, you know, and it's, just kind of is what it is. It could be a lot of factors as to why. Who knows why? Who knows why?
Because they just made $2 billion. Because they just made $2 billion less than a month and a half earlier.
I mean, here's what I think, and we'll move on from the whole Shazam topic. But the whole Ant-Man thing, I think it's just a casualty of a very busy summer. One, two, Ant-Man as a character really, I mean, he doesn't have that great of an appeal. I mean, yeah, he's caught on with more than a few, but I don't think he's caught on with a lot of people. And three, you know, when you had The Incredibles 2, you had Jurassic World, you know, sandwiching at it.
Jurassic World.
I mean, I mean, for real, man. I mean, I just think it's been too busy, and I don't think there's been enough people to really want to go and see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Maybe it was just placed in the wrong spot, and it needed to be somewhere where it could stand a little bit more on its own. That's just me. Moving on to the next thing, probably the most controversial, thing is that Teen Titans trailer. But you know, as a whole, the DC Universe subscription service debuted. You know, everybody was kind of really hyped about it. You know, DC's kind of own service. You got Young Justice. You know, you got comic books. You can see all the old DC films, all the old DC TV shows like Wonder Woman, Batman the Animated Series streaming in HD, and then they say, hey, we want to show you the Titans trailer, and the Titans trailer has probably my #1 favorite sound effect of all time right now. Fuck Batman. Fuck Batman. I mean, I'll be playing that forever. Fuck Batman. For real, I'll be playing the hell out of that thing. Fuck Batman. I mean, playing it on repeat. Fuck Batman. I mean, for real. But no, the Titans trailer came out, and to say that it was something. Right. I think that's the best thing yet. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. I'm just saying it was something. I mean, let me finish. Okay, y'all can tell me what you think in a minute, because I want to address this not just for the trailer itself, not for the controversy, not for the, and we want to talk about, you know, kind of the behavior of, you know, fans on the internet being toxic yet again towards Anna Diop. Look, do we think after the $7.99 per month price tag comes out, and then they want you to pay maybe $78 up front so you can get 5 months free? Okay, do we think that this thing is worth the monthly price? Let's start with you, Fallen Marvel, since you started. Fuck that, man. just saying.
Okay, I'm only speaking for myself. Okay, while I am a fan of DC properties, for me, I'm holding on to my money for right now, because
go ahead.
Just on the simple fact that because the only new stuff we're gonna get obviously is this show, and even though I'm looking forward to Young Justice, I mean, those are only two new things that we're really gonna see up front right now. Everything else is stuff that we've already seen repeatedly already. You know, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I mean, obviously, if you are a huge fan of DC and you like the prospect of paying, you know, $8 a month, or, you know, the annual fee to have access to all the DC related stuff or whatever, by all means, go ahead. Because for me, because that, like, I just kind of have a thing where it has to be a certain build up or aspect for me to be willing to be able to invest in it. But they haven't really been doing anything for me to really want to invest the money yet. So I'm holding on to my money right now.
I'm borrowing somebody's account. I just want to see Young Justice. That's all I want to see. And a couple of the older DC animated films, which they are great. Other than that, only person who looked interested in the Titans trailer is Robin.
Fuck that, man.
Be granted, that's not really hard to do, but
yeah, I mean, you know, it's Robin, but I don't know how I feel about that trailer. I just
like I said, you know what?
All these companies are going to be losing so much money because, like, people don't want it's like you have just it's a one-trick pony. Seriously, you know, you're trying to bring people in on one specific show, and it's just like, okay, most of this stuff is available on other streaming services. Some of the stuff is old that, you know, depending on the person want to watch. But they like for Star Trek. I like Star Trek, but there was no way I'm paying CBS for Star Trek Discovery. This is the exact same thing. It's not enough to bring me in. It should just look at Netflix. Netflix is in a debt, big time debt, but they're still making money somehow and can continually come out with new movies because they're continuously, funding all these movies and people are consistently watching it and all this other stuff. But they're in debt. Now, what would happen if you don't get that same amount of variety bringing people in? They're just literally. I just think it's dumb that they're doing it. They should like made a deal with Hulu, made a deal with Netflix, made a deal with somebody, and just put the stuff there where you already have it. Stop trying to freaking make your own grocery store and all you sell is apples, man. People want freaking hamburgers and shit. Come on.
Huh. Yeah. I caught
the tail end of that, but it sounded like Dido is going back to his. I need some freaking exclusives. Yeah.
More than
go ahead, bro. Did you get in there?
Here's my deal. One of the reasons why I was so angry about this whole thing with DC's online service, I still have not heard that they have all of their animated films on this service. I heard some. I have not heard all. All would probably get me to maybe spend some of my money, not for Titans, but just to have access to them. Secondly, the huge problem I have, and I'm unapologetic with this, I don't care what none of y'all say, Teen Titans.
What was that? You breaking up. What was that about Teen Titans? You broke up a little bit. What was that?
Teen Titans Go as a movie is coming out on Thursday. Now, even if you're not a fan of it, it's coming out and it has the Titans in it. You can't drop an F-bomb releasing Robin the week of Teen Titans Go dropping. It just doesn't work. You need to space these things out, make them two distinct properties. And this one looks so terrible by comparison. It's terrible timing, and it's an awful disrespectful move towards the Teen Titans.
But they want to be edgy. They want to be fuck Batman. They want to be so dark and mysterious and.
Not the Titans, though, man.
Titans goes beneath the theaters.
Yeah, I just think they were trying too hard. No, I hear you. I think they were just trying too hard.
You're absolutely right, though, because
you're right.
Your image is everything in this business. And if you're gonna, like you said, the one connector is going to be the word Titans. It's the same characters, regardless of how cartoony Teen Titans Go is. Like he said, if I just saw Titans dropping an F-bomb, and again, not everybody's going to think the same thing. Some parents are that dumb, and I'm going to.
Yeah, we know they are.
It's the whole reason that when Dido and I were sitting there with the other group of friends watching Sausage Party, there were kids in the damn theater. So some parents are that dumb. So he's 100% right. It's like you're throwing these two things together that, again, you need some breathing room.
Thanks.
You do.
And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna sign off, but it's been a real pleasure, y'all. I'll come back.
Oh man.
All right, brother. Good.
All right, brother. Good to have you on. Hope you get back on soon.
Will do.
I was kind of really hoping I was gonna be able to get some more from him as far as him being on the show, because I wanted to hear more about the show floor. But we just ran out of time with him, which is unfortunate. But go ahead, Dado. You were saying?
I was gonna say, even though what I'm going to say does not matter because it's already been successful, regardless of what you guys feel about it, they could have done all this stuff with the Animaniacs characters instead of the Teen Titans characters, and then you wouldn't have that problem. You can have your Titans, and then you could have your exact same situation. They could have probably did every single storyline that the Teen Titans did with Animaniacs, and probably wouldn't have had a problem at all. Granted, I know nothing about Teen Titans. I don't know if they fight bad guys. I just seen them singing about
not really
shit. So yeah, I seen them dancing and what legs look best, and everybody going on legs. That could have been freaking Animaniacs.
And waffles.
Yeah, and had they done that, then there wouldn't have been a problem. But I don't see that's gonna hurt any franchise because even though what you said is like you're right, GQ, you got dumbass parents, dumbass people. We've seen it, we know it. People are gonna take their kids to go see this, and it's since Teen Titans is not coming on television, it's not going in movie theaters, or not Teen Titans, but Titans. It's something you literally have to seek out yourself, meaning you have to subscribe to it. No kid's going to subscribe to it because they can't unless you got a dumbass parent that gives them their credit card and all this other stuff, which, granted, I'm pretty sure that's a small. It does happen. It does happen. I'm not saying that, but it's just going to be in small amounts compared to those adults who will go out and see it. So I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue. Had it came on CW or whatever channels the shows come on, maybe you wouldn't get Fuck Batman then, but maybe it's not Batman. But I don't think it's going to be a big issue because one's in the theater, you see in commercials for it, parents take their kids to it. The other one, you literally have to seek after it. That's one of the reasons why I like today's TV, because I don't sit and wait for the TV to come to me. I go seek what I want to watch when I want to watch it.
Indeed. There you go. There you go. And for me, though, like, you guys already know how I'm about streaming services. I honestly do not care. I've got enough physical media to last me till I die. So
Absolutely.
It's just like they're outside of maybe the Titans show, which is going to get released anyway at some point somewhere. What do they got? It's like you got Batman the Animated Series. I actually already own all of it, and when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm buying it again because I want it in HD. You got like the animated movies. I think I got that covered. So it's like
I got that covered too. Yeah.
Right. It's like what and that's always been the problem with a lot of streaming services. Unless they have something that I cannot get anywhere else, what is my incentive to even sign up? Because for me, streaming is
they also got that Stargirl show coming.
Man, I don't care about that, man. Look, man, come on, dog. Look, man. Stargirl as a character has never really been able to move the needle. She ain't even got her own monthly series that I could read about. I mean, look, them having, trying to bring in the Justice Society of America. Okay, yeah, that's cool and everything, but I don't know. I guess I gotta wait and see. But
the Justice Society of America.
I mean. No, it's just no, man. All the stuff that they've announced kind of so far is a non-starter for me.
Yeah, they're gonna need Titans exclusive. They're gonna need Young Justice exclusive. Like they're gonna need a list of stuff that you cannot get anywhere else.
Exactly.
Now I'm interested in that Harley Quinn animated series that they're coming out with because it might be like her current comic book and be more adult themed and be kind of jokey. I'd be down for that because her book is actually really funny and it's really good. I like it a lot. I'm waiting to see what Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing are supposed to be about, but right now, jumping out the gate, they don't have enough. They don't have enough to really entice me. And dude, they could have sold me with that Titans trailer, and they bombed it. Let's just be honest, they bombed it.
Well, here's the other thing: you can't say F Batman. That's their bread and butter. That's the only.
That's almost inviting me to push the button.
That's the only character that keeps DC's head above water. Let's just be real.
Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, sure.
Let's be real. DC wouldn't even be like in the movie business like this if it wasn't for Nolan's Batman trilogy. And then Batman v Superman wouldn't have even seemed remotely interesting except for that third trailer that finally showed that warehouse fight, and it was just like, wait, we're getting an actual Batman that can kick some ass.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
We'll see what this is all about. It's the truth. Batman is that character that always keeps their head above water. Batman the Animated Series changed cartoons forever, and he's that guy. Q in the chat is saying that Titans is trying to look edgy, comes across as desperate and corny.
Absolutely.
Jay is saying that he's a parent.
It's try hard like a mug.
Yeah, Jay is saying he's a parent. He can attest to frequent dumbassness of parents. So,
all right,
there you go. You got a parent signing off on it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's hold on a second.
Just one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So just to piggyback off your fuck Batman thing, I did put out a poll yesterday about like what would go down like his most infamous in DC live action between the Save Martha and fuck Batman, and fuck Batman won by 57% versus 42%.
That's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame. I mean, really. I mean, that shouldn't beat Martha. It shouldn't beat Martha, man. That's a damn shame. I mean, for real, and you know,
the power of the bat, man.
So we also put out a poll asking whether people would subscribe or hold their money towards DC Universe. 68% said that they are going to be saving their money as well, and only 32% said they would subscribe. And I don't really blame them, but let's address, you know, the kind of the touchy subject in the room. Once again, the Anna Diop portrayal of Starfire has come under fire, and she's kind of, you know, she jumped off of Instagram and disabled all the comments on her profile because she's been facing, you know, more harassment over the way her character looked. Now, in no way, shape, or form is this Anna Diop's fault. It's not. You know, she was hired to do a job. You know, she's a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that she isn't. But whoever is the showrunner is, whoever the costume director is, they need to get taken to the woodshed for the way Starfire looks. Because she does not look good. I mean, I don't care whether she's in disguise. It just doesn't look good. And that's not, like I said, that's not Anna Diop's fault. But the way she looks, it just looks bad. It's not a good look. I mean, I know people say don't bring up cosplayers and say cosplayers look better, but there's been black and white cosplayers that have done a better job. And that's a damn shame. You got this is a TV show that has at least, and I got into an argument with a dude in a Facebook group talking about this. I'm like, dog, this TV show has a budget. You know, this budget, it's over $1 million budget. It's got to be at least for effects, for the camera crew, for, you know, paying the stars, for the amount of episodes they're gonna be putting out. Dude, this thing has money attached to it. Robin's costume actually looks pretty good. Why can't Starfire, you know, I mean, the wig that they got, come on. Oh, I mean, come on, man. I enough. So
here's the problem.
Go ahead.
It always goes back to, again, a lot of studios need to learn how to lock this shit down. Period. I get it that you film it on the streets, people are going to take their pictures, they're going to do whatever, but it's like, realistically, you're Warner Brothers. You can pretty much open up any soundstage you need to and film in a closed set where nobody other than people on the project that you can put under contract to say, if you talk about this shit, we'll sue you out of existence. So it's their own fault for those, you know, set photos getting leaked and whatnot, and for her looking the way she looked at that moment. Cosplayers, it's a little bit different because, let's be real, they can do whatever they want to put however much they want into those costumes, and they'll do it. And it's usually all you're seeing in cosplayers is one still image, or, you know, a series of still images. You're not seeing, you're seeing the best of what they've got for how that costume is going to look. So we're catching her in an offset photo, and yeah, it looked bad, but that was their own fault for letting the fact that, you know, you're filming out there in the public and people are going to snap photos. So, and take it back to old school. Like, how many set photos of Star Trek ever got leaked? You know what I'm saying? So, like, we can, if these studios really want to get on top of this stuff, they can. They act like they don't have huge sound stages where they can do this. I get it. It's a show. You want to save money. But at the same time, if you got a completely controlled environment and you can film it in a soundstage, why not?
That's what I would do. That's a really good point, you know. And the thing is, even then, it's like, even if, like, let's just say, for instance, the set photos didn't get leaked. I mean, let's just say, for argument, they did. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'd still get somewhat of the same backlash for her look if we saw her in the trailer, even for the small glimpses, because she didn't look good in the trailer either. So
no.
I mean, in all honesty, there was a cosplay. I think I'm not sure if it was Kenshiro or it might have been LTZ. Somebody had posted. Yeah, somebody had posted, and there was a cosplayer that posted up, and she looked way better. Yeah, that was me. She looked exactly like what Starfire would look like.
Exactly.
So I think therein lies your part of your issue. It's like, yeah, no hate on Anna Diop. She's a pretty attractive girl, but her skin tone is way darker than what Starfire is shown as. You can get a black person to play her, but I'm be 100% skin cyst or whatever you want to call it.
Colorism, playing some colorism there.
Colorism. I don't care.
It's colorism. It's colorism, but it's not it's not colorism to show a slight to anybody. All anybody ever really asked for is, and I brought this up with, somebody replied in the chats like, why is this so important? And people seem to be complaining about her dark skin, just to be complaining. And I touched on the whole, history of colorism and how it's, played an adverse effect for African Americans in Hollywood. And that thing is real because, Storm is Nigerian, right? She's supposed to be darker complected. We've only had light-skinned Storms. Like, every time. From Halle Berry to Alexandra Shipp. She's light-skinned too. Because both of them are of mixed heritage. Now, there have been numerous, darker-hued actresses out there that could have played Storm. Angela Bassett was one of them. She could have played Storm, but they elected not to do that. Why? We don't know. But in a case here, did a white person have to play Starfire? No, that's not what we're saying. Just like GQ's saying, you could have picked a lighter skinned, black girl, and she would have looked like the cosplayer did, looked exactly like Starfire. Wouldn't even have to have been bronze or turned orange or anything like that. She looked perfect. She looked absolutely perfect as Starfire. She did. Her hair looked nice. She had the right contacts and everything. She looked beautiful. She was great. So this really isn't Anna Diop's fault, but the casting director did a terrible job. I just
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Curly hair. Do you think they're trying to get the look of the 80s Starfire though? Because
yes, I do.
To me, 80s Starfire had curly hair and
she did. She did.
They tried, but
the wig is terrible. The wig is bad.
At this point, it's like, why couldn't they just use her natural hair at this point? It's like, look, if you can't make a wig look good on a $1 million budget production or whatever the case may be, essentially, it's basically like Medusa from The Humans all over again, only worse.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you go over to Lee's Beauty Supply at the last minute. And you gotta run in and you're like, dude, I need a red wig. You gotta get that real human hair, not that yaki. You gotta get that real human hair, lace front, the whole shebang. You gotta do it right. Because if you're just gonna suddenly grab whatever $10 wig you find, like that's the first one you saw, it's gonna look bad. Again, this is a TV show with a TV show budget. In all honesty, like what's her name from Spider-Man Homecoming, some of the photos you've seen of her.
Zendaya. Zendaya, yeah, she looked good.
She looked just like Starfire in some of those photos by herself, just made up with just red hair. Again, it's a situation of it's a bad photo, and that's where the shitstorm started. And again, it's a bad wig. The problem is, until you see the show, we're not gonna know. Because again, looking all the way back to when the Flash first got announced, and they saw some set photos, and like you saw how like that suit looks super deep burgundy, and without the little bit of TV touch up, it was like, dude, what is he wearing? So once you actually saw it on the show, it's like, okay, it's better. So maybe it's gonna be the same situation here, but they got to stop doing that because
I don't know. I didn't have an issue with this suit before the show came on.
Oh, dude,
I did. I did.
When we first saw them set photos, and Light Mug looked kind of baggy, and it was
I did. I had an issue.
Like, what is he wearing? And
I had an issue.
They got to get on top of these because if you're getting stuff like this is viral quick. It's like a bad photo. It takes 2 seconds for that thing to go viral, and next you know, everybody's dogging you out before you even get an episode on the air.
I don't know why they don't hire these cosplayers in the first place.
Because cosplayers don't have a name behind them, or they don't have.
Yeah, but they see.
Look, you know what? I think cosplayers will do a very good job as costume designers. I think they would be fantastic.
If they actually kind of lease their services out like freelance or whatever, I really think they could probably make a name.
Some of these cosplayers, they do a fantastic job on a very minimal budget. They do.
Because apparently some of these set designers and all that stuff
they don't know what they're doing. Sharita Jackson actually brought up something really, really poignant. She said, to be totally honest, nothing they would have done would have pleased anyone. Starfire is usually portrayed by a fair-skinned girl, so the ugly costume was just fuel on the fire for people looking for any and everything to nitpick. A very valid point. I agree. I would very much agree with that.
I disagree. I don't need any extra fuel. I'll nitpick. No, she's absolutely right. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm gonna definitely say that given what I saw, I had a ton of stuff to rip apart.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen what the character. I've seen what the character looks like.
All right, so let's move beyond Starfire. Let's move beyond Starfire. If we could touch on other things in that trailer that just wasn't right. I wasn't necessarily a fan of Raven and how she was portrayed. I'm glad Beast Boy was green, although I would like to see whether he's going to be green for the entire time.
He's not.
If he's not, then I got a problem with that. I mean, come on. Back in the 60s, Star Trek was putting people in full body makeup. They had Frank Gorshin half white, half black. I don't want to hear no noise about why you can't make somebody green for the entire. Lou freaking Ferrigno was the Hulk for 3 seasons. Painted green the entire body. I don't want to hear it.
You know what that does to your skin, man? Man, come on, that kills the skin.
Man, look.
They have.
He's still alive, ain't he?
So I know
they got natural makeup now. It's a lot better now. I'm just saying, no excuse anybody can come up with to why these characters can't look like the way they're supposed to look. It falls on deaf ears. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense for me. So, what do we think about the rest of the
pics of the cosplayer we were talking about for Starfire? So somebody got
Mike Oliver. Yeah. I'll throw those in the chat. Just hold on.
Yep.
What did you guys think of the rest of the trailer behind that?
I don't know. When you Ken Cheryl trying to get somebody killed like that girl in Goldfinger.
No, man.
You know what? I've watched the trailer several times since it aired because it's like I reacted to it. I was also watching other people's reaction to it, and it's like the more of the trailer I watch, the more things I started noticing that just made it worse. And one of the things I had to pick out was like the way the trailer was cut was awful. Like it was cut very poorly. Because if you notice at the beginning, when they first showed Dick Grayson profile, they used that same exact shot in 2 different spots. It's like, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I just see that? And then it's like, on top of it, it's like, I know somebody had pointed out that some of the sound effects they used, I think they said some of the sound effects used they actually pulled directly from the Arkham games. And what else? The dialogue. Like the dialogue that was in that trailer was terrible.
You know what that is? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Anytime you get a trailer that's like that, where they're pulling assets from a lot of different things, they didn't send them enough footage to work off of. Because anytime you got to reuse a shot or reverse a shot or do something like that with your trailer, you didn't have enough footage to go off of.
Something
or B-roll.
It's the truth. I
wholeheartedly believe that.
Because if you run into a situation where like you have to reuse shots or you cut to black and got a lot of narration, they didn't give them enough shots to work off of.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that because I mean, especially as someone who's actually has had some hands-on experience in like how broadcasting works or whatever, I could definitely attest to that because it's like again, like it just felt so put together. Like when you see a trailer and it feels put together, that's a problem. Like that's a real problem for me. And you know, again, with me being an aspiring editor, like I noticed that shit. So it's just like, man, it's like it still boggles my mind that they did that. I'm still looking back and it's like every time I watch the trailer, I'm hoping it turns out differently. And I know And I know it's like silly to do that, but it's just like you just really sit back and like, damn, they really did this. Like they really and truly did this. It is, whew, that's all I can really say. Like this is, ugh. I mean, the only good thing I will say is that I mean, I think like as far as Raven goes, I'm not really so harping so much about her design because I get that they're having her like really young and her trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with her. But I wasn't really harping on that. But I mean, aside from that, she does appear interesting to me in a bit.
Oh yeah, her soul self looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like that's interesting. I didn't really get a chance. I know they said that Hawk was in the trailer, but I couldn't really. I
couldn't really see him. I saw Dove though.
The whole damn trailer was too dark to notice him anyway. But the thing is, but the little bit that I saw of Dove, she actually looked pretty good from what I did see. Like the costume actually looks pretty decent. But again, it was kind of a quick shot, so we didn't really get like a really good profile of it. But aside from that, it's like that's the only good I can really give it, man. This thing was a travesty to me.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You are not wrong in the slightest. You're not wrong in the slightest. Okay, so let's move on. We've spent more than enough time on this topic. So the next topic, do we think after the show, after everything that they showed, despite what happened with the Titans trailer, do we think that DC stock is rising as far as in Hollywood? Do we think their stock is overall rising off the strength of the two main movie trailers, Young Justice season 3? Do we think their stock is rising after the show?
Not even close.
No,
I think there's potential there. I don't know about it like outright rising right now. I mean, look, I mean, we know that they had the merger with AT&T and all that, so now they kind of got that Apple money behind them or whatever now, more or less. Well, the AT&T money or whatever. But the thing is, there's potential there. The thing is, the Titans trailer kind of made everybody fear the worst for like the first couple of days. So beyond that, there's potential there because from as bad as the Titans trailer was, the other trailers we got from them were actually pretty good. Like they actually still show some hope. But the fact that this is Titans though, like that was a major blunder. Like with that whole, it just was. So I don't know. Like we just gonna have to wait and see how this plays out because still, like if a show like Gotham can stay on for 6 seasons or whatever, we'll see. Like the thing is, like folks underestimate the power of fans.
they do. Yeah, they do. You are right. Anybody else think that DC is looking a little bit stronger overall after the show? Wow, this guy just nope. Nope.
Nope.
You can't say no. They're looking stronger. I mean, they look a little appetizing for me, more appealing.
That's the word, appealing.
They got a lot of way to go, man. If somebody's climbing a mountain, and if you're trying to compare, which I hate doing it, Marvel's already at the top, period. And DC is, near the bottom, and they're still kind of near the camp. By the time they start climbing, kind of forget their gear. You got to turn around, walk back to camp, and try to start over again. Kind of dumb. So I can't really say. It's just I'm probably gonna watch Titans somehow. I might wait till it's all done and eventually watch it at GQ's if he buys the Blu-rays or something like that. Who knows? I don't know how I'm gonna watch it. I eventually watch it, but I will be in the theater for the movies, definitely. I don't know. They're just like, okay, let's see what you got. That's basically where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah.
Who was it you said was looking for the cosplayer that
Mike in the chat.
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Mike, all right, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat of where you can see her, but this is the cosplayer that did Starfire. She's very hot. Name's Cutie Pie Sensei. And she I mean,
she did the whole thing, the hair, the contacts, everything.
Yeah, she did. She did it all. Hold on a second. I'm gonna load it again. Hold on a second.
Yep. But as far as DC goes, in my opinion, Aquaman is a good shot in the arm. It seems like it's going to be interesting. Shazam, mixed bag for me. So a lot of people are excited about it. That's great. You can't have that momentum for your films, and then you make an announcement where it's like, we're not going to do the extended universe, or we're changing the name or whatever. And then you have this Batman thing with Titans, and then you have the streaming service. It's like, it's almost like they're trying to throw too many things against the wall, and they're trying to watch all of them to see if they all stick at the same time. And that's, to me, I don't like that. It's like, it shows that you're still splintered in your push of putting this content and this information, putting this stuff out there. Because it's like, okay, you're trying to shit on basically your best character that you've been leaning on for the most of our lifetimes. For one, you're trying to, distance yourself from him. Then you're trying to, do this edgy show that has a little bit of backlash on it already. Then you're trying to get us to buy into a character that most people always would kind of shit on over the years, which is fine. I mean, Aquaman, he has his naysayers, but at least you're trying to get us to buy into it. And then Shazam is fun, but at the same time, when the first time we saw that costume, it's like, dude, what the hell is he wearing? Because it looked like a muscle suit that you get at the Halloween store. And again, whatever the case may be, however the direction they're taking, that's fine. But if you want me to take you seriously, I want to see a focused vision of what you're doing, not look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here. Trying to get me to buy in, because it's like, I'm not buying into all of them. I'm not. Like Dido said, I'll go see the movies because they're movies. I mean, I go to movies all the time, but I'm not going to buy your streaming service because I own most of everything that you're already showing on there anyway. So you ain't pulling me in with that. And then with this Titan show, it's like, you're not making me excited to really watch that either, because you're trying to shit on one of my favorite characters right off the bat. So it's okay, keep it pushing, I guess. Keep on trying, or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, as far as them being stronger, no, they look a little bit more divided, because this would have been their opportunity to be like, hey, by the way, Jeff Johns is our Kevin Feige, and we're moving forward with all of this stuff being connected because this man can put it together. If they would have did that, I would have been right behind them, sitting there front row for almost everything. But they're showing that they're more divided now than ever. So to me, they're not strong coming out of this.
All right. I don't think I totally expected that. By the way, on the screen, you'll see the pictures of Cutie Pie Sensei. I pulled more than a couple images of her. The last image that you'll see is her Starfire, and compare them to comic book Starfire and the Anna Diop Starfire. But you got pictures of her as Wonder Woman, her as Mary Jane, her as a character from Hunchback. I forget. No,
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda, yeah, her as Esmeralda. Yeah, I think. So anyway, Dido, you got any thoughts on this? And before we move forward.
Sorry, on DC as a whole.
Just as a whole, yeah.
What's that term that they used to say before we were all born back in the '60s? Was it called "keep on trucking" or something like that? DC needs to do. They need to keep on trucking, because one day, they're gonna get to their destination, I guess. I mean, they got the freaking animated stuff down pat. Got the comic books are great as far as I know. And they got some of the live action stuff. From my understanding, it is real great. One day we're gonna sit there and we're gonna be in the theater, and everybody's gonna shit on the trailer, and we're gonna sit in the theater and we're gonna watch this movie, and it's gonna be like, wow, they finally got it. and that day is coming. I can tell you it's coming, but I can't tell you when.
all you need is a CB radio in your hand and be like, you don't know what Jack Burton likes to say.
At a time like this. Keep on trucking.
Right. Oh, man.
Like, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's kind of right. I mean, I don't know much about Jeff Johns. Can he be like Kevin Feige? Who the hell knows? I know that DC would have to start over because it's kind of hard to scrounge up, and not scrounge, what's the word I'm thinking of? Salvage what they've already done. And, maybe Aquaman could be that beginning. I mean, I think Wonder Woman should have been that beginning, but then Justice League came and kind of was like, right.
Well, here's the thing. Jeff Johns' work, though, because if you're familiar with the Green Lantern, a lot of the Green Lantern stuff, he would not that movie now, but like a lot of the good Green Lantern stories was him.
Yeah.
Like, that cartoon that you said you had, like, that was mainly a lot of them adapting stuff that he did. So, I mean, the dude knows his stuff. He made Aquaman interesting in the comics. So, I mean, dude is talented.
Very.
They need to do it, but I can't. Excuse me, got the yard. They just. I just, it's kind of hard to say now. I'm tired of talking about, Marvel's great and DC sucks. I don't want to talk like that anymore. I just want to be like, okay, show me some good movies and let's move on.
It's funny that you say that, Dio, because just really quick. But I remember like having seeing somebody just have a discussion about this when they were like, I think they were talking about when BVS came out and Civil War came out in the same year, and they was like saying like how how Marvel essentially, did Civil War because they were doing BVS, which is fine. But I think like what it is that like I really feel the idea, like at least the heart of it, the reason why they went that way is because, okay, DC has something really special right here. We want to be able to have like the same, like have something that is just as impactful. And like, cause I really feel that deep down they want, like, especially Feige, because Feige's the kind of guy that wants like some type of healthy competition going on. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, what if Batman v Superman, or at least wound up being the movie that it should have been, and Civil War still wound up being the movie it was, and then like we just all have all these great ass movies coming out that complement off each other, and it's like, again, it's like we want them all to win.
Yeah, because I want to watch them and be like, oh man, this is great. I don't want to be like go to movies like
because I mean, like, because honestly, like, look, we throw punches at DC, but deep down it hurts to do it because
we love them, man.
More out of
We love the hell out of them characters, man.
It doesn't always hurt for me.
Yeah, no, he likes kicking people when they down. He does, man.
I know it's more natural for you, GQ.
Yeah.
In all honesty, here's what I respect out of my movie studios. I respect strength, and I respect a look of, damn it, we're gonna put this out here and people are gonna love it. And again, when DC backed off of Batman v Superman when it was supposed to go head to head with Civil War, to me, I was like, I'm like, and this is back when it was just the third unannounced or untitled Captain America sequel. I'm like, if you're backing off of a single Captain America movie, which again, it ended up being Civil War, so yes, that was probably a smart move in hindsight. But if you're backing off, if you're blinking just based on Captain America, when your two of your heaviest hitters of all time are going to go toe to toe, that's not strong to me. That means that you don't believe in your product. And to me, if you don't believe in your product, why should I? And I think that I've always looked at things like that. And I'm like, look, Disney was like, we're dropping this movie on this date, and the date is locked. We're not budging. I don't care what comes out. And they dropped it and they killed. So it's just like, I would love to see a day where Avengers and Justice League go head to head. Not going to happen. And it's unfortunate because, again, DC has not shown me that they have enough faith in their product to do that. Go toe to toe, be like, fuck you guys. We're coming out on May the 4th, just like you are. Let's see who gets more money. That's the type of competition I would like to see. But if one is scared of the other, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been. I mean, that would have been the ideal thing.
Yep. University of Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, like I mean, dude, Black Panther outgrossed Batman v Superman and Justice League combined.
Yep.
That's one guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just being real.
Someone that wasn't even really in the public consciousness at all.
Like Wesley Snipes has been trying to have a Black Panther movie made since after he did
decades.
Blade.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they finally dropped it, and it destroyed two of DC's biggest potential films. That's not a good look, man. Again, like I said, I'll go see their movies because I love all movies and I love comic book movies. But they need to get their stuff together because that's come on now. 10-year-old us would have been unheard of.
Yeah.
And Black Panther's going to destroy Batman v Superman and Justice League. Yeah, right.
Right. like, bro, like.
Right. So we got a whole lot of other stuff to talk about. We spent about an hour and a half.
Way too long.
An hour and a half talking about, DC and stuff like that. So what other trailers impressed us this year? I know for one, that Godzilla trailer was dope. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Super Nerd, I know you wrote down like a list of stuff that you liked as far as trailer wise. What else did you like from the show?
Let's see. Of course, DuckTales season 2. I'm really excited about that because I saw some characters from Tailspin in there. It looks real dope. I saw Huey, Dewey, and Louie singing the theme song to Darkwing Duck. And actually, they showed like where they showed it. They showed the TV, and they showed Darkwing Duck on the TV because I guess he's an actor in the universe. So it makes it even way cooler now that everything's kind of come together. And I think Gizmo Duck pops up, or he did pop up already in the first season. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm excited about that. Let me go to my list. I gotta check my list out. My list tells you everything. Let's see what else. Hush Woman.
Always got them peanut gallery comments waiting in the wings.
Invader Zim. That movie is gonna be funny as hell because if you're a big Invader Zim fan, they got the Enter the Florpus movie coming out, and that shit looks great as always. The Iron Fist season 2, believe it or not, it looked pretty cool. Plus they got Typhoid Mary supposed to be in there, so I'm kind of interested to see what that's gonna be. I mean, especially seeing and that's the thing about I love they pulling these characters that nobody has even heard of or seen in a while. So it's gonna be cool to see Typhoid Mary in Iron Fist. The Disenchantment, the new how you say his name? Matt say it, Tadakuji.
Matt Groening.
Matt Groening, yeah. Groening.
It's just straight up graining. No,
grinding.
Listen, man, pronunciation is not coming correctly, but yeah, he got his Netflix show called Disenchantment, which looks pretty good. Glass looks okay. That looked pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, that was another one that came out. Yeah.
Which I didn't realize the guy from Split was in the shared universe. I just found that out. Shame on me.
Split?
I own it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh! Don't you dare! I'm rubbing it off on you. No, I'm just.
I still haven't watched that trailer because
had you watched it, you'd have known it.
Well, yeah. Had I known it, I had to do some research and found out about that. But
watch it to the end, and you'll know.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Let's see what else. Something that's I would say is not a trailer, but I guess they did show the trailer. Is the Ghostbusters World mobile game. It's kind of like Pokemon.
Oh, it's a mobile game. I thought it was a real game. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. Thought it was a real game. You had me excited there for a second.
Listen, who wouldn't want to be a Ghostbuster anyway? In the comfort of your own cell phone.
Not me. I want to play it on my TV because I have a big TV for a reason.
Oh, I do too. But at the same time, it's like, why not play something when you're out and about? You know,
because I never have
be a
time.
hit like Pokemon Go. It's gonna be a hit like Pokemon Go. That's
but it's gonna be a little different, slightly way different than Pokemon Go because they didn't want to go that route. You got to look at the specs on it. It looks pretty cool to me. So I'm check it out.
As long as they ain't trying to have no people chasing ghosts up on a high-rise building and they walk off the damn building.
Hey, that's on them if they want to fly like a bird.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it so far as what I want to see. Of course, whenever I wish they had a trailer for Umbrella Academy. That's coming on Netflix next year, but it's just they got the cast ready to rock and roll, so that's gonna be cool that they got the cast ready for it and they got promotional stuff for it. So I'm excited about Umbrella Academy. If you don't know Umbrella Academy, check it out. It's a graphic novel.
You ain't gonna mention Deadly Class, man?
You know, I wasn't because I still haven't read those books yet.
Well, Deadly Class is actually coming out on Sci-Fi Channel. The trailer came out, done by the Russo brothers. It looks like it's going to be really good. Iron Fist season 2's trailer also came out on the on over the weekend.
I mentioned that.
And you did? Sorry, yeah. I must have droned out. But it's coming out August 7th, which actually it isn't too far from now. Which leaves me kind of hyped because I'm after Luke Cage season 2, I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing Iron Fist again, and I didn't know if I'd be able to say that, but I can very clearly say that.
Tell me about it.
I stayed optimistic about that, and I'm glad I did.
See, the whole benefit of having a shared universe so you can have your course corrections and make people better.
Absolutely.
So, Mike Oliver is actually asking us a question. What do you think about Venom? I'm having mixed emotions about that, too.
Oh, aren't we all? Because this is only one thing that's gonna shut this movie down. We didn't want to put the spider on his chest because so why would we put the the first fucking part?
You didn't hear that, did you? You didn't hear that, did you?
Okay,
you didn't hear that, did you?
The director of the movie said the reason Venom's infamous spider logo on his chest isn't there is because Spider-Man's not in the movie and it wouldn't make any sense to have it because we all know he gets his ability from Spider-Man. So why would you make the movie in the first place? Answer your own question. The dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I agree. 100%.
Are you crazy?
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Makes no sense. He's
literally.
But Venom's gonna be super awesome. It's gonna be awesome, right?
They have the nerve to keep spinning off movies for this. This is what kills me too, is that the fact that they keep calling these movies spin-offs and they're not a spin-off of anything. They're just related to something that they're not using.
Here's the other crazy thing. It's like they finally got him saying "we" like he's supposed to. I'm very happy about that. But I'm sorry, I'm not buying Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. I'm really not. I don't know what it's like.
Does he sound like the same character in Mad Max?
A little, yeah. It's like It's like, okay, when that lady was following him to the store, it's like that scene. I hope that is just an early cut of that scene or early take, and they find a better take. Because his acting was it looked like Tom Hardy is a great actor, so it's like I know he can do better than
absolutely.
But that whole scene was he's just like, I know, I'm good at following people, but you suck. I'm like, what is this guy 12? I'm like, what the hell? So I hope that was just that was take one. We need something for the trailer. We'll fix this later because that was really awkward, man. I'm like,
that's not even Eddie Brock's persona,
right?
He's everybody know he's more this cocky.
He's essentially a white Megatron.
A white Megatron. Wow.
To a small degree, he is. I mean, again, no slight on Megatron, but it's like Eddie Brock. He works out. He like you said, he's got a cocky, arrogant attitude, and it's just like I didn't get any of that from Tom Hardy's portrayal. Not in that trailer.
Right. He's like this nervous guy who wasn't sure of himself.
Right. And he essentially was a Peter Parker.
Exactly.
I'm like, what's interesting to me is like, if after all of this, they still had the nerve to confirm Morbius, the living vampire film.
So he can suck your blood with his tentacle hands.
Anything from Marvel at all? It's just like Marvel convinced Sony to say, "Hey, let's put Spider-Man in. We're gonna put some life into Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gonna be back. You're gonna be back." And they're like, "All right, let's do it." They did it. Spider-Man's back. Everybody's thumbs up. And then Sony's like, "Hey, we got this. We got this. We know what we're doing.
You know,
we about to make a movie with no Spider-Man."
Right? What the fuck? They're like, they are literally Goku back in Dragon Ball, trying to learn the Kamehameha just by watching Master Roshi do it. That's literally what they are trying to do. That is literally what they are trying to do, and it's like it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry it went for Goku, but you guys aren't that good. Sony has got to get their act together when it comes to that, man.
You know, Sony remind me of David Allegretti and Tommy Davidson when they were trying to sell you something in living color back in the day.
Oh man, Funky Finger Productions.
Yeah, Funky Finger Productions. That's what they remind me of. That is Sony. Sony is Funky Finger Productions.
Hey, why don't you give him a card? You know, I'm French out. That's literally exactly what they're trying to do. That's literally what they're trying to do. Like, we're doing something, man. We're gonna throw Venom up there, man. It's like y'all ain't ready for Venom, man. Not if you ain't gonna put Spider-Man around there somewhere. Again,
and we've been talking about that ever since they announced it. It's like, how do you make a Venom movie with no Spider-Man and no?
Hey, I guarantee you, the group that's on here that's in Michigan is going to be there day one, and we're going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000 in that film if it's that bad.
Oh yeah,
and I guarantee you, man, that movie's going to get clowned if like they don't come correct. And you getting rid of the spider symbol already. That's already a strike one for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's already going into this with a magnifying glass. We look at everything.
Love that spider look, man. The way Venom Spider looked compared to Spider, because even I'm actually considering getting that PS4 Pro with Spider-Man logo on it.
I already pre-ordered mine. Mine is pre-ordered. I'm having.
That was mine. I would think if you're gonna do it soon, because I hear like they're going like hotcakes.
Well, here's my thing. I'll look at it this way. I'll just walk into Best Buy and turn my reward points in if they have one in the store. That's how I'll do it, because I'm not pressed to have it. It would be nice. I need it. Again, I would rather it have Venom design.
Yeah,
that would have looked sweet as hell.
That would have looked cold. I ain't gonna lie. That would have looked cold. And instead of red having the black with the whole white spider Venom design on, that would have been cold.
And I would have did it was a gloss piano black with that matte white.
Yeah,
that would have looked freaking amazing.
Yeah, it would
have. I actually heard that I heard that the red one actually has the gloss matte look too. So
okay.
So yeah, that's one of the selling points for me, because I actually missed the piano black look.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any other trailers that came out? Oh, what about the Clone Wars returning to finish up the rest of the stories?
I'm excited about that, but
I am.
Like, why would you do that after you already had a whole new series from beginning to end? And it was like, oh, wait a minute, we'll go back.
Because they still left it unfinished, even after they went to Netflix. It's just even if after they went to Netflix and they kind of sort of pseudo finished the rest of the episodes, they still left a lot of plot threads hanging, and I guess they're going to use these episodes to tie them all up, which will be good, and hopefully it'll tie it into a nice little bow for to lead right into episode 3, which would be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward.
We already know where it left off. It's not like it literally didn't need an ending. The ending was episode 3. So
no. I mean, there's other plot threads. I guess they left.
No, I mean, I get it, but still, I don't know.
Especially after you saw,
I still like it.
Yeah, especially after you saw Rebels. If you see all Rebels and you saw that Rex and some of the other clones had kind of broken away, you want to know okay, how did that happen? When did that happen?
Well, here's the thing, and you just know it happened. There is a Clone Wars season 4 because that's the current season. That's the one that's about to be released. So I watched the rest of 3. That's why I didn't see what you were talking about. But yeah, I think it's gonna be weird that they're going to try to do a Clone Wars after Rebels has already showed up, because Rebels is really good. So it's like, That's going to be interesting. Real quick though, out of the chat, Mike brought up. He says a little bit off topic. What do we think of Jamie Foxx playing Spawn? He hates the idea.
Why?
I don't hate the idea.
Did you see a new picture? Did you see a new Instagram picture of Jamie Foxx in the gym?
Yeah, I don't get the why.
I don't hate. Well, and I think we touched on this last week a little bit too. We didn't. I first one don't hate Jamie Foxx as Spawn. I'm more worried about Todd McFarlane as a director. That's just me.
Right, and I mean, I'll say this because I wasn't on when you guys talked about it, so I'll say this really quick. I don't have an issue with Jamie playing this role because he has shown range to play something other than what we're used to him playing. So he's capable of doing it. Mm-hmm. And I know some folks have, like, you know, they've kind of used the argument of Amazing Spider-Man 2 because of it. But this is the thing about Amazing Spider-Man 2, even as garbage as that movie was. Jamie was a better Electro than he was Max Dillon. That's the only thing about it. He was a much better Electro. So
I'm going to show you a world without Malbosia. I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, as long as they I think we'll be good. As long as they stay away from the necro goo, I think we'll be fine.
Here's the issue I have though, and it goes back to Michael Jai White was perfect as what is Spawn's real name? Dang it, I can't remember.
Al
Simmons.
Michael Jai White's Al Simmons was great because that's who that guy was. He's a cocky, arrogant asshole. No slight on Michael Jai White, but he played that part really well. Jamie Foxx he does not play arrogant very well. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. Every time
Baby Driver, was he not arrogant in that? You think he was arrogant in Baby Driver?
I mean, he was like a really like
he was like an arrogant fucking asshole.
He was a wise ass asshole.
Yeah, he was just a wise ass asshole. But to me, Al Simmons is a military asshole. Jamie doesn't seem to carry that very well, man. It's like because he's always. It's like, okay, I look back I was watching Miami Vice recently, and his Tubbs was like, it's like I wasn't buying it. I just really wasn't. I was like, I'm not buying you as a badass. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe the way he looks, maybe his voice is weird. So depending on how long he's going to be Al Simmons in this film, I don't know, man.
I mean, to be honest, that Miami Vice movie was kind of like a weird plan to begin with. To be honest, so I mean, I don't know. Like, I remember like watching, like after I seen the movie, I just kind of was like, it was forgettable. Like, I don't remember anything from it. You know,
right.
it was very forgettable.
That's not a good thing. And Todd McFarlane, as far as I know, this is his first directing gig, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know how much like assistance he had with the animated series, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I mean, look, I'll reserve my judgment on it until we get a first look at it. You know, up to this, like, honestly, right now, I have no reason to really fear for it yet. I mean, Ken, I know you said your reason why because of McFarlane like being helming the film. So I mean, that's understandable. Like, just for me personally, just from my perspective, like, I don't have a reason to fear for it yet. So right now, like, I'm not tripping about
it. Jamie's a great actor. Let's get that out the way first and foremost. If he's a major fan of the character, has been following it for years, and treats it with as much respect as Ryan Reynolds has put in the Deadpool, then maybe this can work.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, McFarlane, obviously, who created the character, can at least elicit what he wants out of it. But they're gonna have to find a way to toughen Jamie Foxx's image up for me, because even in Baby Driver, it's like, dude, all I see is my man from what was it, Kick-Ass, just a little more evil. Like, remember, what was this? No, was it Kick-Ass? No, not Kick-Ass.
No,
it was
I'm thinking some
movie where he played a character named Motherfucker, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
That was Kick-Ass.
Horrible Bosses. Horrible Bosses.
Horrible Bosses.
Motherfucking Jones.
Yeah, it's like, that's all I see. It's like when he plays a quote unquote thuggish bad guy, even like his character in Baby Driver, it's like, dude, you're just a meaner version of motherfucking Jones. Like, that's literally all I'm seeing. Like, he needs to find his inner Michael Jai White. Because that's the only way it's gonna work for me. That's the only way it's gonna work for me.
I think he can, because I mean, even overall, like I think the tone of Baby Driver, even though it did get serious, I mean, because who was it? What Guy Ritchie was the one that directed it, right? Was it him?
Yeah, I think it was Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie.
So because the thing is, the movie kind of had that Guy Ritchie style to it. So it was like, even though when it was serious, it wasn't really serious. You know, if that makes sense, you know.
And again, like I said, that's fine. You can have that because it's like, okay, Tarantino has his moments that are like that. It's like you'll be sitting there laughing at something that you're not supposed to be laughing at, or at least by societal standards, you're not supposed to be laughing at. But Sam Jackson played the hell out of Gino. You know what I'm saying? I was laughing my ass off through the whole moment, and he's shooting a dude. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie.
It was funny. I'm sorry, it was funny. So
I
like,
have to agree with you. I can't help to laugh at that shit.
But to me, Sam Jackson, as old as he's getting, I wouldn't fuck with him. Period. Jamie Foxx, dude, whatever, man.
Because we always known Jamie is the funny guy for so long,
and I think that's the problem. I think that honestly is the problem. It's his delivery because I don't know if it's his voice, I don't know what it is, or it's just the way he looks. It's hard to see him as a tough guy. That's what's so funny about Michael Jai White playing Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite is hilarious. Yeah. But I think it's because Michael Jai White, for the longest we've seen him, he's a martial artist. He's a martial artist. That's all he is. That's all he is. And his comedic timing is on point. But you can also see him as a badass because that's what we've seen him as for all these years leading up to Black Dynamite. And then thankfully we're about to get the Outlaw. What's the Outlaw? I just saw the trailer recently. The one he's supposed to be doing
in the Wild Wild West, almost like Posse.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what the name of it was either.
All I know is that movie's gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah,
but again, it works because Michael Jai White you can believe that he can whip somebody's ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
like Jamie Foxx, not as much.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough call because of
how Outlaw Johnny Black.
Thank you.
Yeah, right, there we go. Yeah. I mean it's always gonna be hard, kind of seeing that, because of what we've known him to do. But the thing is, I really tried to think of like that. The times where he has expanded his range more than he's used to doing. When he's not basically just playing Jamie Foxx in the movie. Like kind of the same way they say like how like Will Smith is Will Smith in every movie.
Oh, he is.
And I mean he is, but I think like the times when he really tries, he does a really good job. And it's like even back when what was it? When they first announced him as Deadshot being basically the anti-hero type guy. And the thing is, I was apprehensive about it at first till I seen that one clip where he played Lucifer in that one film. I forget the name of it, but it's like the way he played. It was like the way what he brought to like that part. It wasn't even a big part. It was like literally probably about like 5, 6, 7 minutes of dialogue, and he was he was Lucifer, and it's like the way he delivered that performance. It was like, oh damn, okay, I guess you can like turn it up a notch when you want to, So I mean that I'm inclined to give Jamie the benefit of the doubt.
Again, he play the hell out of Ray Charles.
Hey, they said Michael Keaton couldn't be Batman, so I'm always gonna go back to that one. He didn't have the chin for it. He was too short. He might be a better Joker than a Batman. He's a comedy. Blah 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 blah. Hey,
Batman
turned out great.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that. Because I was one of the few people that liked Ledger for Joker when he was announced because I knew his body of work. Jamie Foxx, I'm just saying, when at first glance, every time I see him, no matter how he plays a character, with the exception of Ray Charles, because again he's portraying a real life person.
But that's the thing. It's Spawn. First off, you're not going to see much of him.
I know that, but you have to have it. You have to have an Al Simmons part, though. You have to establish, just like they did in the original movie. You have to have something that establishes the change, because again,
they're not going to do that.
But see, that's going to be weird though, because let's be real. Outside of us, comic book heads or movie heads, who really in the now is thinking of Spawn like that? They're going to have to be reintroduced to the character.
Yeah,
that's true, but I don't know.
That's very true. But like, if
Todd McFarlane's going to do, what he going to do? I don't know.
No, I like I said, we'll see, but I guarantee you, we're gonna be getting some sequences of Jamie Foxx, just like in the original one. There's gonna be some sequences of him with his face out there with the costume on. Because again, you get a big name like that, man. Outside of Carl Urban, nobody has ever, as far as I can remember, kept the mask on through the whole thing and not showing their face.
I agree. I agree.
Dread.
We got a whole I know. Dread is the Dread TV show is gonna be coming out and looks like it's gonna be pretty cool, but you know, we've been going for like 2 hours straight and we're probably gonna have to shut the show down, but we got a whole bunch more to talk about for Comic-Con, so I think we're gonna push the rest of the topics to next week. We're gonna talk more about the comic news that came out. We're also gonna talk about how little comic news came out and if, you know, Comic-Con has kind of lost its soul to Hollywood. So and I'm sure Super Nerd definitely wants to be chomping at the bit talking about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So come back and chat, you know, holla at us next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time. We're gonna talk about more about the San Diego Comic-Con and some of the other fallout from the stuff that came out from this show, including a rebrand of the Miles Morales and the renaming of Spider-Gwen as Ghost Spider, and you know, the death of Thanos. Oh, did I say that?
Yeah,
I did say that, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, we hope you all have a fantastic week. Make sure you subscribe to us over there on culturejunkies.com. I mean, or on twitch.tv/culturejunkies. You can go and enjoy the show latency free, like talk to us in real time and enjoy the show just like everybody else, like we intended it to. So for my special guest Prodigy, from Blacker Than Black times Xfinity, I want to thank him for joining the show. For my boys GQ, for Fallen Marvel, Super Nerd Plus, and the Great Adakuji, I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Hey, yo.
Good night, everybody.
I'd be remiss if I didn't hit him with this a little bit. Fuck Batman. A little bit of fuck Batman before we get out of here. Fuck Batman.
Hey, don't forget to check us out on YouTube, babies.
Absolutely. See you guys later.
Peace.